stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Yeah, boy, welcome back. It's Voice of the Republic. This is Ed.
This is Carl. What?
We're back. We're talking Mad Max, and today we are talking about the Road Warrior.
And sometimes Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Sometimes just The Road Warrior. And in Australia, just Mad Max 2.
Yeah, crazy.
So,
that's Hollywood.
yeah.
That's the machine for you.
That's it. So, here's the thing. I think a lot of people will go on record saying that this is their favorite Mad Max movie. How does that fall for you?
Once again, choosing among my children. I will... God, there's so much to like, Carl. Why do you do this to me? I would probably say yeah. But this one and Mad Max... God, they're so close because there's so much to appreciate in either.
Mm-hmm.
And they can both be watched independently. You don't need to watch Mad Max to know that this Road Warrior thing is going to happen, because you can end that one and just know that this fucked up cop is somewhere out there. Now he's a rampant vigilante. Road Warrior can start and be completely independent of this movie, and you get a totally satisfactory start, middle, end to this movie and his journey. So. But this was the one, I did see this before seeing Mad Max, so it had a definite impact on me. And we're talking about why it was called The Road Warrior versus Mad Max and the Hollywood Machine. Because Mad Max here, it was more, if anybody saw it, it was like independent TV, VHF back in the day. Little stations would play this dubbed weird movie, or you would see it at your local drive-in. But it wasn't a big success. Mad Max 2, this time they had a bigger budget. They could make this incredibly visual and much more rich story of a seriously post-apocalyptic future. So I would say that when it was released here in the States, that's why they didn't want to refer to a little-known movie that might kill sales. They're like,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the first one, so... And they didn't have internet or cable, well, there was some cable, but... Mad Max wasn't necessarily playing. There was no on-demand. So if you didn't see it, you're kind of fucked. You're not going to be able to see it, anytime soon. It may be hard to find. Yeah. So that's why it became The Road Warrior. But that would be my first.
Yeah, I would say, man, I don't know. Like, I honestly, and I'm even going to include Thunderdome in here, I don't know if I can pick a favorite, because here's the thing I think is really unique about these movies. The first one, Mad Max, is your stereotypical, like, 70s grindhouse revenge flick. The car crashes, like, ooh, sexy time, ooh, bloody time, ooh, dangerous time. It's like they got the whole grindhouse thing going on in there, and it's a great movie. And then you go to Road Warrior, which is essentially like a post-apocalyptic Western. You have this, like... guy rides into town, it's like, oh, they're being hassled by like these cowpoke from out of town. Ooh, what's going to happen?
Totally.
And he rides in, and he just I'm just here for a drink. I'm just here for the gasoline. It's like it's just that sort of thing, and then he gets drug into this whole bigger issue, and he ends up becoming the hero, and he doesn't want to be, but he is. And then you go to Thunderdome, and it's a full-out dystopian sci-fi flick. It's jumped past just a standard. It's like, I think Thunderdome is kind of like the realization of the dystopian genre. It's like a natural progression, and you watch these three films, they're just, it's almost like they're not the same franchise, but they are, and they're completely different. They have all these different elements, yet they all work and connect together. It's so hard. It's such an amazing job that they actually pulled it off, because when you look at it on paper and what they do and how they approach the stories, it shouldn't work at all.
Right.
But it still does, and it just interlocks and makes this great, wonderful world that just works, and it's amazing. And I'm kind of like you, like we'll pick one of the babies, but I honestly, like, when it comes down to it, I don't know if I could pick one because it's kind of apples and oranges sometimes when you try to look.
It was your
at
idea.
It, so. I know. I set you up.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
You, Carl.
I knew the point I wanted to make, and I just let you dangle in the wind.
Story of my life.
Makes for good radio. Sorry.
Good radio. Good radio. Yeah. The thing that is pretty amazing, like we're saying about all of them, is that each one of these three movies can totally stand on their own. Mm-hmm. Even though all the way down to Beyond Thunderdome. And the Road Warrior really set itself apart, mostly visually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It defined the post-apocalyptic wasteland. You can't think of, like, any visual you can think of now, whether you've seen it in a video game or another movie or a toy line. It all goes back to Mad Max, Mad Max 2. It all goes back to the Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I mean, the Road Warrior, the only thing that's left over from the first movie is Max himself and whatever's left of his car.
Exactly.
Beyond that, everything's gone. You want to talk about the Wild West? They're in the fucking outback wasteland. There is nothing. There's no remnants of towns. There's no trailer parks. It is people who hold up around a refinery. That's their home, and they know that they're sitting on a gold mine, and the crazies want in. And Max is coming out of it and this is where, again, this could just be another crazy car chase. I don't know why I can't speak today. Crazy car chase exploitation flick, full of violence and stuff. But that's what makes the difference here is the stories and characters. Max just wants to be left alone and survive. Mm-hmm. He captures a gyrocopter pilot. He doesn't treat him like a human. He's just like, here's a way that I can. Yeah.
But he doesn't kill him also. It's like he easily, once he got the information,
he
could have killed him. Like it's just that Mad Max thing. Like he knows, technically, he probably should have killed him because the guy's no good. It's like he's already held a gun, like a gun on you once, or a crossbow or whatever it was he had.
Yeah.
And it's like, that like as soon as that guy gets the upper hand, he's going to try to turn on Max, But
right.
He's Mad Max, so he doesn't kill him. He keeps him hostage.
He's brutal, but he's still got a human heart, and that's why Max matters, and that's why we like him. Yeah. So even though he enters these wagon train, this circled wagon train that is the refinery, he just wants what he wants so he can leave. He doesn't want to get involved with their bullshit, but the only way he can get what he wants is to get involved, and it should be really easy. Just go there, do what I say, get back. Of course, doesn't go right, and now he's got a stake. And he's stuck, becoming the hero. Another thing that is amazing about this movie, even though they already raised the bar on dystopian movies with Mad Max, now they did it again visually, just through character and setting and costumes. They redefined the car chase, in my opinion, because this wasn't just people tearing down the road, knocking each other into ditches. This was, everybody chasing one truck,
Mm-hmm.
every manner of vehicle that you can imagine, every little rat bike, the cow-covered car is insanely genius, all these things chasing this one truck, people jumping from vehicle to vehicle, just incredible action and visually stunning, and such a great thing to wait for all the drama to get to, So instead of just like action, 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 but I love you, action, 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 and that's why I won't watch Superman, Man of Steel ever again. Sorry.
And it's funny that you should mention like that truck chase, because that's something that I saw in the Fury Road trailer that was the moment it sold me. Was there's this one really cool scene where you see all these like poles sticking up out of the cars that
yeah.
Caravan, and it looks like there's guys on top of them or something. You're just like, well, whatever. It's just like Ravengers being crazy.
Yeah, just weird
people
shit.
trying. It's kind of like an Iron Rod in Thunderdome, where he just has a head on a rod on his back for no good fucking reason. So you're just like, man, whatever. It's post-apocalyptic. And then like they get a little further into the trailer, and you see it's actually dudes on it, and they're like kind of like these bending poles that they're like swinging down, and they're attacking, and they're trying to grab a hold of people, and it's kind of like a pirate swinging off a boat. You know, it's like that's what it's like. Only it's on cars, and you're just like, this is fucking crazy. Like I think it's going to be one of those things that it just, you know, it elevates that thing further, and I hope that's the case. But you're right, like. Road Warrior is definitive. Go and look at Borderlands, for example, the video game Borderlands. Totally ripped off the entire vibe of Mad Max as far as like design and tone and things of that nature. The Fallout series has definitely borrowed a lot from Road Warrior, even to the point that a lot of the people actually even wear like the Mad Max outfit. Like in each one of the games, there's an outfit that looks almost exactly like Mad Max. You can actually get a dog in Fallout 3 called Meat, and it's supposed to be like Mad Max's dog. So you're supposed to be able to walk around with a shotgun and a dog like Mad Max. You know, it's like it's so influential that it's really just touched on anything that's ever does. As soon as you do dystopian, Mad Max comes into the equation at some point or another. You have to decide if you're going to go that way or if you're going to do something else, but that choice always comes into play whenever you say dystopian. Mad Max is one of the first steps that you take. So
yeah, absolutely. Something else they talk about, well, they don't talk about it, they just do it, is that you really feel that it's a survival situation. It isn't just cool guys and cool cars with, you know, hot chicks with funny haircuts. It's like, number one, you've got, okay, yeah, they're all fighting for the juice, the gas, but man, they're fighting for food, you know? When with the situation with the gyrocopter pilot, that was life or death. The pilot would have killed his ass otherwise. Max is protecting his car with dynamite. If you don't get it, no one gets it, we all die, and that's acceptable in this world. He's eating dog food with his dog, you know?
Like
probably
how often
one
do
can
you
a day.
see like how often do you see a hero like I'm a cool fucking action hero, dog food. I mean, it's like that's not something you see. Like, I mean, at least especially not then. Maybe more so now, but yeah.
All the way down to I love this line where, you know, his dog, named Dog, because how many dogs are out there? He's like barking at the captain's snake. He's like, no, you don't. This is my snake, and I'm going to eat it. Like, so it's his weapon, but he knows how it is, you know? It's not just a pet. He's going to eat that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just great.
It's really, really good movie, really well put together, and just gorgeous. Like you said, it's definitive. Like, even down to the point, like, the Dreadnought Jeep in G.I. Joe. It's straight up out of Mad Max or Thunderdome.
Clear ripoff. Not that I ever minded, because
it's great.
You know my comic,
Yeah.
chromandust.com, Comixology. Not just an influence, kids. I mean, it was on TV, and I was just straight up ripping it off.
And, you know, and
Happily.
it's just, and you know, and I think it's one of those things that when you say that, like, well, you're ripping off Mad Max, but I don't think it's something. If you want to be realistic in dystopian future storytelling, it's impossible not to reference Mad Max, because I think they did such a good job at presenting, like, okay, this is definitely a plausible future. Like, that's the other thing about Mad Max and Road Warrior and stuff like that, is it's not that far off. Like, you know, like when you look at it, it's definitely plausible. It's not some far out fantasy with like oh man, they got fucking orcs out on the road. No, it's like, it's just really fucking evil people doing bad things and looking out for just themselves and no one else. And,
exactly, and that's something that even if you watch The Road, which is a less exciting / fun version of this kind of future, people, it's just human nature, and they recognize this. People will gather together. People will go like with like, and people do whatever they need to do to survive. So in this case, the guys in white, we assume they're the good guys. They just happen to have the fuel. The bad guys are totally fucking out there, but it doesn't mean that they think they're bad. They're just doing what they need to do. They're just organized.
And, you know, and I think that's going to be a big topic I want to talk about in tomorrow's episode, Beyond Thunderdome.
Me too.
We'll have we'll have Republicoms, and we'll talk Beyond the Thunderdome. But until then, go to vorradio.com. You can find all the contact information to send us said Republicoms. You can also find links to our Facebook group, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever you want to watch or listen to our show. We got a link there for you. If it's not there, let us know. If there's some other platform you'd like to see us on, definitely drop us a line. Let us know.
Especially like a plush crushed velvet platform.
Yeah.
Some tassels. Spotlight.
Some mood music.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead and stop by vorradio.com, and that's all I got for the plug.
That's it. You've been plugged, y'all. Now go do it. Become a Voron today! Awesome. So we'll be back tomorrow. Beyond Thunderdome. 2-man enter. 1-man leave.
2-man in and out. 1-man leave. 2-man in and out. 1-man leave.
Hey, may the force
be with
that ass.